Hey guys, it's Henry NWR1911 here. So, this came out a month ago, and I didn't talk much about it on this channel, but I decided now would be a good time to. I'm going to be watching the Down the Mine pilot that Mattel officially released for the 80th anniversary of Thomas, and say what I think about it. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and let's get right into it. So the pilot was first shot in April of 1983 and had a special recording of Ringo Starr reading the story. And yeah, so here it is.
One day, Thomas was at the junction when Gordon shuffled in with some trucks. "Phew," remarked Thomas. "What a funny smell."
I'm just gonna say it right now, I am not a fan of Gordon's annoyed face in this pilot. I don't think any of his faces looked great here, and I'm really glad that they look the way they do in the actual model series. They just looked better. I'm sorry.
"It's ditch water." Before Gordon could answer, Thomas puffed away.
I actually really love this detail of the guard poking out of the coach and the door opened on Clarabelle. I don't know why they didn't do stuff like that more often in the model series.
Annie and Clarabelle could hardly believe their ears. That was funny, he chuckled. He felt very pleased with himself. Annie and Clarabelle were deeply shocked. They had great respect for Gordon, the big engine.
This might be a hot take, but I think I prefer this version of Annie and Clarabelle's theme over the one from the actual show.
Long ago, miners digging for lead had made...
Does anybody else prefer this version of the mine over the one in the actual episode? I could have dealt without that danger ahead sign. It felt kind of superfluous, but maybe that's just me.
Silly old board, he thought. He had often tried to pass it and he had never succeeded. But this morning he had made a plan. He had to push the empty trucks into one siding and pull out full ones from another. "Come on," waved the fireman. The driver leaned out of the cab to see where they were going. "Now," said Thomas to himself.
Okay, I kind of like this shot of Thomas switching onto the siding before running into the area.
"Stupid old board," said Thomas. "There's no
Wait,
danger.
why wasn't this shot used? This looks so awesome!
Look out,"
God
shouted
damn
his
it!
driver. "Come back."
I'm not a fan of this scene of Thomas
"Fire and
falling in,
smoke,"
though.
said
It
Thomas. "I'm
it
sunk."
looks a little too
And he was.
plasticky,
Thomas
if you
could
get
just
my
see out of the hole, but he
vibe.
couldn't move. "Oh dear," he said, "I am a silly engine. And a very naughty one, too."
Honestly,
"I
Topham
saw
looks
you,"
so
said
much
the
more
Fat
serious
Controller.
here than in the
"Please
final
get me out. I won't
episode.
be naughty again." "I'm not sure," replied the Fat Controller. "We can't lift you out with the crane. The ground's not firm enough." Let me see. I wonder if Gordon could pull you out." "Yes, sir," said Thomas nervously, but he didn't really want to meet Gordon just yet. "Down a mine, is he? Ho, ho, ho," laughed Gordon. "What a joke."
I'm also not a fan of that Gordon face either. I don't know what it is. It just... Something about it just feels a little unnatural. That is very evidently a different take than in the actual episode.
"Are you ready?" "Heave," called the Fat Controller.
If I'm being honest, I prefer the scene of Thomas getting pulled out of the mine in the final episode. It looks like there's more weight and strain in that version than in this. It looked a little too easy here.
"I was cheeky," said Thomas. "That's all right, Thomas. You made me laugh." "I'm in disgrace," Gordon went on pathetically. "I feel very low." "I'm in disgrace too," said Thomas. "Why, so you are, Thomas. We're both in disgrace. Shall we form an alliance? An ally? What was it?" asked Thomas. "An alliance, Thomas. United we stand, together we fall," said Gordon grandly. "Right you are," said Thomas. "Good, that's settled," mumbled Gordon.
Honestly,
Buffer to buffer,
hearing
the
Ringo
Allies
Starr saying
postponed.
"United we stand, together we fall" was so satisfying. I love that. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Ian McHugh and all of the many people who helped restore the pilot for the 80th anniversary. But what do I think of the Down the Mine pilot? Well, I feel like some shots in it were done better. Like, I like the shot of the guard hanging out of Clarabelle and blowing his whistle. I like the mine collapsing scene better in this version, but I prefer the final episode's scene of Gordon pulling Thomas out of the mine. It just felt like there was more weight to it. And also, Ringo's narration. I understand that it was the first narration ever done for the show, and that it obviously wasn't going to be the best, but he kind of gave me Angelus in season 7 vibes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, given that the New Friends for Thomas DVD is very nostalgic for me and many other people. That being said, I would like to once again thank all of the many people who helped put this pilot together for the 80th anniversary. Rest in peace, Britt Allcroft and Wilbert Audrey. Hope you're continuing to rest in peace. What did you guys think of the Down the Mine pilot? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, I'll see you on the next one.